I can't lose. PulseChain's next move. Cryptos we choose. PulseX we invest. Feeling so blessed. No stress, no regrets. Living dreams manifest. We live in the dream. Revolution so clean. Hex to the moonlight. PulseChain's our scheme. 10 breaks the rules. New coins on pulse. Stories untold. Legends of gold. We live in the dream to find revolution's dream.
What's up, Skip? Hey, fuck off! Fuck off! Go away! Fucking kangaroos.
Hi, and welcome to the PulseChain stream. Thank you, Hodful, for being here.
How's it going? Long time no see. I've
it's
dipped
going
out a little bit. Yeah.
Same. That 30-second countdown was different music because I was expecting the really intense one, and then this one was like, and I was like, oh, okay, Doz, I see what you're doing. We're underwater. We're chilling.
Happy SEC no longer bugging Richard Hart.
We
there's
are
a green.
free of the SEC. PulseChain is free of the SEC. Thanks, Tam, for being here in the
This has
chat.
no noise.
Very, very cool.
Okay.
So we are going to go through it, and I am going to go through from the man himself, Richard Hart. What has he got to say about this situation here? Go to the trusty old bookmarks if I can find them. And this is what happens when you make your screen really small. You can't see anything. Not that screen, the screen. How you been, Hodful?
Oh man, I've been pretty good. I've been doing a lot of non-crypto stuff. Started ice skating and all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
ice skating. Very nice.
Well,
There we go.
yeah,
Bookmarks.
it's fun.
Okay, I can show you now. I found my bookmarks. All right, here we go. What has Richard Hart got to say? Richard Hart has reached 350,000 followers, everyone. Oh, some jerk unfollowed him for the stream. It's like 349.9. Like,
Oh, quick, follow him, Claus. I'll follow him too. Maybe he'll make it up to everybody. All 9 people watching, follow him now. We're going to get that back.
Follow this man. Follow his man. Now, sorry, my bookmark.
He's got more after winning.
Yeah,
He won.
he does.
Straight. I don't know
Straight
how
up.
much time and money, but I don't know how much money you put toward fighting this and energy. It's absolutely glorious.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Richard is doing it for the team. He is putting up the money and he's doing all the things to make crypto a better place for us. So this is what he had to say. This was on April 22nd, 4 days ago. So today the SEC notified the court that it does not intend to file an amended complaint, and their deadline to do so has expired. The court previously dismissed the SEC's entire case. Richard Hart, PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex have defeated the SEC completely and have achieved regulatory clarity that nearly no other coins have. They're now safe to work with in ways that almost no other coins are. The SEC walked away from some other cryptocurrency cases voluntarily, but this was the only case where the SEC lost and crypto won across the board, with a dismissal in court of every single claim the SEC brought. This is a victory for open source software, cryptocurrency, and free speech. The SEC actually sued software code in itself, claiming it could be an alter ego of a person. This would have set a terrible precedent and perhaps caused multiple billions of dollars of damage to the vital open source and free software industry that powers most of the internet and your speech on it. So it wasn't just dismissed, it was actually won in court because of, jurisdiction, and because the SEC couldn't substantiate any of their claims, including they tried to allege fraud against Richard Hart. And so now we're free of the SEC.
I mean, this was 1984 type of regulation they were trying to prove. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah, it was. They had put it together with ChatGPT, and they had just spliced different random bits of information, basically saying the optics of PulseChain are bad, and we're going to try and sue you because we are. And anyone that's in PulseChain that's been balls deep for 3 years, there was just so many errors. A lot of the calculations were just inaccurate. So the inaccuracies were just... And anyway, it looked like somebody from anyone that's deep in PulseChain. It looked like someone from Sesame Street had just put it together. So, and the judge kind of alluded to that when she said, guys, there's no case here. This is a joke. And then they, I think the SEC, obviously with the new culture that Donald Trump has brought, was we're not pursuing this. This is just not, there's nothing here.
Well, the weird thing is they amended it and then dropped it. What?
Yeah, it was kind of strange that they dragged it on, like they said, because the judge said you've got 20 days to amend your complaint. And then I think it came close to that deadline, and they're like, look, we need more time. This is the SEC. And then I think 30 days later, now they're just I don't think they honestly, they just don't have a case. And the lawyers that Richard has, they're like Elon Musk lawyers. There's just no way they would have just looked really shameful to go through with it. So, and then from that news, have you heard that Kraken might be listing?
I'm hoping so. I mean, I'm a big proponent of DeFi, and I've always said this. I'm glad that we have a DeFi option in our ecosystem, but I really like to be listed in any centralized exchange. Kraken would be fantastic, right?
Absolutely.
Because a lot of what was kind of gate kept was this whole SEC securities thing. I mean, including Uniswap with Hex, you know what I mean, for a while when they delisted and, listed it again with eHex.
Yeah.
But that's gone, and it's only been really gone because I'm sure they waited for the, whatever extension they had to start pursuing movement, right? On what, the 23rd did that happen? 22nd, 23rd, that they finally decided to not pursue it. So maybe now would be the time to just start asking, all of these exchanges, the ones that are legit. It's just hey, all of these reasons why you weren't able to list are gone. And I mean, even Charles Hopkins, sorry, I can't say his name.
All right.
It did an
apology. Call him something else. We'll call him Charlie Boy or the Sea Chad. Charmander.
Sorry. Yeah, no, he was even
or Sea Hop.
Apologizing. Sorry, Richard Hart. Sorry. If you actually won in court, you know what I mean? That's a big deal. Not to mention how much, time and money and safety. Richard, I mean, he could be living whatever lifestyle he wants, but he chooses to fight for us nerds on the internet. Really, yeah. I mean, and freedom of speech. So
it's mind blowing, because if you think about somebody that's that successful in real life, people that are that successful wouldn't interact with people that they've not met on the internet, really. So the fact that he's doing these things and going through hell basically, so that he can improve cryptocurrency, freedom of speech, freedom of movement.
Although Elon's kind of doing some of the same stuff.
Yeah, Elon does too. Elon puts himself on the line and does the same thing. And it's incredible to see in my lifetime people like this, because these are the people that change the world. Elon's making rocket after rocket, like the bloody shuttle can come back to Earth, which is just like mind blowing.
Not a flamethrower.
His cars like drive themselves, which is cool. I always thought when I was a kid, like by the time I'm an adult, there'll be a flying car. So I'm still waiting for that one, Elon. But he'll get there. So that's really cool. So Rackham has offered to pay the Kraken listing fee, and there's a couple of tweets in regards to that I want to show.
Oh, okay.
So this again, so that first tweet that I read out from Richard, that was back after the first time that the case was that he won the case, but then they got that extension. So this is the second tweet that he did in regards to it. So he said, "I beat the SEC in court. The SEC did not drop the case against me. The judge completely dismissed their case for both failure to state a claim and lack of jurisdiction. This is why PulseChain, PulseX, Hex gain legal certainty that almost no other coin has, even Ethereum." So remember how Ink was off the list?
Yeah.
To the Ink people, unfortunately, there's no more Ink inflation, and that's a little bit. It's actually good for us not to have liquidity at the moment, so we can pump when the money comes in. So the judge also rejected the SEC's abandoned alter ego theory. This is the victory for open source software, free speech, PLSX, Hex, and I. So that's some pretty cool stuff. And then this is got some newspaper articles or online articles about it. So that's cool. Trevor's been doing some banger tweets. Like, shout out to Trevor. Trevor's been like keeping strong when most people just like ran away here. So this is when Trevor met up with Richard and Funding Jam and Dollar Cost, and that's his pin post. So that was back in April of 2023. That was 2 years ago. That's cool. Hopefully he can get another photo like that soon. So he's got a Dear Diary. Dear Diary, the SEC case is dropped. We're golden. Yet still some of you you babies, cry that Big Daddy Richard hasn't turned your 1K into $100 million yet. We've all had things go not as planned, myself included. And then he just goes on to say that basically, like, you guys are... given what he's gone through, and he's...
By the way, you're not sharing your screen. I don't know if you're thinking you are.
Oh, I'm totally thinking I am.
You're not. I just realized, like, it's okay if you're reading this. It's still good. But and you talked about a picture, like, oh, I wish you had a picture like that again. I'm like, wait a minute.
Before we started the stream,
I've been listening. It's all good.
I had to like figure out like what button to press.
I'm dressed like a sparkly bunny. I mean, how seriously can I?
Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the chat. We got Tam, we got Bit Finesse. People are filtering in here.
Jeez, yeah,
so definitely. Finesse, he said that Richo spent between $1 and $10 million on the case, and then won. Shannon is here. What's up? Hex Monkey, Duke of Booze. Cheers to you. Bit Finesse is here. Elon stated on a podcast 3 visits ago that we likely won't get flying cars due to the thrust to weight ratio. This is an excuse, Elon. I don't want to hear your excuses, Elon, being too low. They'll be too loud and too annoying. Autonomous driving will have to do. No, Elon, this is an excuse. I don't want to hear Elon's Bit Finesse. I appreciate that post though. But Elon, he's just making excuses. Hexglen says hi. Hi, Hexglen. No Bullshit Token is here. Hello. Hey, everyone. We're going through my bookmarks because we are, and we've gone through the SEC case stuff.
Because Claus does research and I just listen.
I've done a little. Look, I've strung it together, guys.
I love it. Don't get me wrong. I got my notes.
Doing my best over here.
Thank God.
So I went through Trevor's diary. Trevor, thank you for sharing your diary. I actually really like Trevor's posts lately. He goes on to say he's actually been through some stuff. Like this is a chat. This is a guy that's actually resilient, and he is sharing about it, and this is what we want. So look, things didn't go as planned for himself. He invested at the top, more than most of your homes. He had almost $1 million in losses to do with his business. He had some personal issues going on. But then he met a girl that he's going to marry. Congratulations, Trevor. She's a very pretty girl.
That's a solid when you've lost money and then you've met the girl you'll marry, right? Like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's super. That is I hope she gets all the monies
I always
later
will.
on.
Yeah,
He's got
that's
friends. He's like still grinding away at his
good for
business.
him.
Things will get better, and he's making these posts to cheer us up, which I appreciate. So this post is really cool. He's got a prediction: PLS will start mooning hard. Other crypto influencers will notice and start to tweet, but they'll complain because they sit and watch green candles while the bridge is clogged. When they finally get in the initial pump, the first pump is over. Early folks win. And then there is a video with Richard that I'll get from Moon King that goes through this as well.
And that's from yesterday, that tweet.
That's from yesterday.
24.
So this is a super important point that he's making. And that's let's face it, like crypto is hard in general. And anyone says to anyone that they're onboarding, oh, it's easy. It's really not. Getting into PulseChain has its unique challenges. It's not
onboarding's easy. Hard because
it's hard. It's hard
oh
work.
yeah. So real quick, I told Klaus that I was making PG tips, which is tea. And then Klaus is like, did you send me a DM about tips? I'm like, no, are you scammed? I'm like, oh wait, I was telling you about my tea. Which is funny.
She was like, I've got this like referral link for my tips. Like, can you share with me?
That's not me. No, but the funny thing about that is to tie into what you're saying about how hard crypto is, like a big problem is you're afraid people are going to get scammed if they don't know what they're doing, even if it's easy for you, like it's algebra is easy too, but when you're teaching it to somebody,
even for people that know what they're doing, one misstep, one link, and it can be game over. That's why you need a hardware
something
wallet.
To the token address. Oh
yeah,
boy,
you gotta have a hardware wallet. You gotta have cold storage. You gotta have like a different computer for your crypto. Like you really have to up your game before all the money starts coming in. But the tweets from Trevor have been really great, and this point that he makes about the bridge being clogged is such a good point because even now, when you try to bridge, there is a delay, and it's really quite it's a little bit scary because you're trying to bridge and you're like up, and sometimes there's a longer delay, sometimes there's a shorter delay, sometimes you have to tweak a couple of things in your settings to get it to run. And you think, oh my God, if I was coming into this chain for the first time, this would be too much. Like it would all be too much. And so the people that are here are diehard fans. And the people will come later on, retail will come, but there will be a lineup at the bridge and it will delay their entry. And I think they will miss the first wave. So anyone that says someone off the street could just come in and snipe these prices, it's like they'd have to have some pretty big fucking balls to come in.
There are people with stables on the bridge, just in case. Just all right.
Yeah.
When's this moving?
I mean, I think like if people were still waiting for like confirmation from whatever the universe, like just staying in like wrapped ETH on PulseChain may be the play. Not financial advice, but because it's on, then you're on PulseChain, and then all you have to do is like one swap, and you can go into Hex or PLS or whatever your favorite is.
And you're not losing anything compared to being outside of the chain. You're just poised, unless you're trying to play quick games on Ethereum, but it's not as volatile, right? So it's like, why?
Because we don't know what markers Richard's looking for. No expectations. But if things start to get deployed, we don't know what the marker is that's going to... I mean, I assume that there's going to be a top call of Ethereum at some point, where he makes a tweet that infers, not directly but indirectly, that ETH is topped. And that would be the signal. At least that's what happened last time, that funds were going to start to be deployed and the moon mission basically starts. But I think people are a little bit forgetting about last cycle and about the potential of Hex on PulseChain and PLS now. And last cycle, Hex did a 10,000x, and people just think, oh, that could never happen again. But the setup is there. So there was almost, a good part of a billion.
It could extremely happen again. Not only could it happen again, it's more posed. This is not financial advice. It's more posed to happen again.
It's designed to happen again because there was, $750 million sacrifice. Can't remember the exact amount, maybe 660 million, something like that. It was put into ETH. ETH, shat the bed. No one's fault. No one saw it coming. But there's still $300 million potentially that could be deployed onto the chain. And I wanted to share this website because it's a really freaking cool website. And it's called pumpy.app. I'm not going to spell it out because I don't want to get anyone wrecked.
IMPAO. Never mind.
It's PAM.
You're right. I'm not going to
I'll
do
spell
that.
it out because this is a
All right.
legit. It is a legit website. Yeah, but it's
Everyone do your own research. It's
But
not
do your
close.
own research. Like I hate giving out websites online. And essentially, okay, so there's $300 million in that SAC wallet. And let's say that it gets deployed with an even split between Hex and PLS. And you can come over here to the settings and you can play with the cell pressure. So let's say there's 90% cell pressure. That's what I've got my settings to. So we're taking into account cell pressure. And then you press calculate. And it gives you, even with a 90% cell pressure, Hex would go to 45 cents. So people forget that Hex on PulseChain is a new chart, okay? People keep, getting the two mixed up. Hex on PulseChain is a new chart. The all-time high for Hex on PulseChain is 3 cents. Hex on PulseChain is currently 0.7 cents. So it's a great buying opportunity at the moment. The all-time high
right after this victory too. Oh my god, on the low liquidity.
Yeah. So this would be kind of similar to the all-time high of eHex if it got to there. It'd be a 62x, and this is based on 90% cell pressure. And
that's not percent. That's not percent. That's
no. That's X's. that's not percent. So and then PLS would go to 308. These numbers, that's with 90% cell pressure. If you want to go 50% cell pressure, this is some moon shit right here. This is not a prediction. This is just based on numbers. Here we go.
This reminds me of Profex's old school, like, was it like Excel sheet of figuring out how much the stakes would be with variables during the SAC.
Yeah. I love this kind of stuff. It makes you feel good on the inside, doesn't it?
It does.
This is assuming that nobody else buys the product, okay? And this is 50. This is 50% sell pressure with a 50-50 split Hex and PLS. And because of the tied liquidity, if PLS and Hex do well, then it's obviously going to push through. It's extraordinary.
Of course, like you said, you have to be on the bridge if it was something that was happening. Again, we don't know what the future holds, of course. I mean, but this is just playing with math, playing with possibilities. Exactly. And crypto people love doing that. So,
Spit finesse. No one should be using crypto on a mobile phone, but if you do, you need to use the browser inside your wallet. People are complaining about failed bridge while using their mobile phone. Oh my god, people! If you're doing crypto on your mobile, seriously, just don't do it. Don't do that. Don't do it.
And if you are, just do it with a small amount of it, if you had to, or something. But
people. I know it's easier, but seriously, people need to not do that. Hey, Tam. So I want to go through the last week. The price action has been very nice, and I'm gonna show you Go Pulse. A bit controversial, maybe not controversial, but I think they're going to launch a token. Go Pulse has been absolutely fantastic website. Like it's been one of the top websites that people in the community would be using. So they are launching a token. I'm not going to be buying it, or I'm not promoting it at all. I think we're all a little bit jaded from other things that have happened. Like in the bull market, things change. You can spread yourself around a bit, but right now it feels like we're in the trenches. So 7 days, in the last 7 days, Hex has gone up 20%, PLS has gone up 30%, and PLSX
man, has been really going up.
Oh, 36%. Make that bigger.
Who knows what could happen with PulseX after the stuff is kind of cleared? Any new,
features? Yeah.
Right.
So was the auto router made more efficient? I think it may have been. So there's less slippage. I'm not hugely technical. So one-sided staking obviously would, I'm not going to say it's guaranteed it's coming, but that probably may be the next step, I would have thought, for PulseX. Richard has alluded to the fact that he may be building a wallet. Did you see the tweets from him about that?
I've seen the tweets that other people have made about it.
Yeah.
I skipped his tweets on it.
He brought out a couple of tweets, and it basically said, what kind of features would you guys like in a wallet, generally speaking?
Yeah.
So
well, it is volatile when you're like, you never know when PulseChain is going to be supported or not on a wallet. And it's like after a while, it's like, okay, well, you have just something solid. The only thing missing from the ecosystem. I think it does kind of make sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, Rabby still works. You have to custom the RPC for PulseChain, but it still works really nicely. I sent a reply to Richo, and I was like, you know what? To be honest, I don't think we need another wallet, but we need you to stream. But who am I? I'm a pleb. I'm not like a retired billionaire, so whatever. I put my 2 cents out there. And
our opinions don't matter. We're not.
It doesn't at all. But
do I look like my opinion matters? No.
We're here to entertain you, people. We are here to entertain you. I like to play with the numbers on Proteus and see how much 1 million hex costs, and then I can kind of gauge, like, where we're at. So 1 million hex costs $7,000, which is similar price to what we spoke about a few weeks ago. So anything under a cent, this is hex on PulseChain, is really, it's really a good buy. This is not financial advice. This is just, I'm sort of just speaking about my own opinions. And we saw that calculator there. So if we're not even at a cent, and even with extreme buy pressure, given the amount of potential SAC funds that could be coming in, I'm surprised people have just forgotten these facts, because that to me is screaming like that's bullish. So I still continue to DCA, and I hope the price doesn't explode. I always need like 2 more weeks for my DCA.
Yeah, meanwhile, you're asking Richard to stream.
Oh, yeah. Just stream, yeah. Give me 2 more weeks.
Richard, just don't let us accumulate, then stream.
Yeah, just maybe 2 more weeks and then stream. So
I know people are sick of
it. He's turned his comments on. That's cool. We could like comment
SEC.
right now.
I'm waiting for that.
I'm gonna go back to my my trusty old crusty bookmarks.
Crusty?
I don't know why I said that.
What is it? Digital crust?
I said it to entertain myself.
Because what, do you have dust in your wallet?
Krusty's even worse than Dusty. Oh, here we go. Get ready. Kraken is about to list on PulseChain. PulseChain will print green candles. PulseChain will be accepted by crypto because of the SEC victory. Massive funds will flood the chain. Thank you, Ian. I appreciate your post.
Oh, and he's all greened out too.
This is like, there's so much green. Can't even see. Oh, Moon King has done this like really detailed post, which I actually thought he had some really good points, and he's got this cool video. Thank you, Moon King. Oh, Moon King. Like, too long didn't read. No, it's actually a really good post. Top 4 things PulseChain community needs to stop doing. Number 1, stopping wallet watches, blah, blah, blah. But pretty much, like, stop doing that shit. Because you ruin the element of surprise, and then everything becomes like a sell-off. Like, everything gets sold off. Number 2, stop simping for influencers to talk about you. You look desperate. Yeah, but we've always looked desperate. So, I don't know. I don't know about that one. But yeah, we do look desperate. We can't change that. Number 3, stop complaining and simping to exchanges. You have to pay for it. That is an excellent point. Like, all this, I'll
simp a little bit. I'll simp a little bit, but not too much.
Not too much. I kind of simp. I kind of don't. Like, in the last week, I think I wrote a message and I tagged Ivan and I said, if Hex is such a bad thing, then what's worse, like the bad thing or talking about the bad thing for engagement? So I was sick of fucking Ivan's post for engagement. Number 4, understand the market. It's demanding and marketing. That's it. The only thing that will make the price go up is, I think what he's talking about here is BTC dominance going down and then ETH and altcoin season. And then Richard has to stream and marketing his product in the way of outrage marketing, because the majority of people in crypto is between the ages of 25 and 34, and outrage marketing works the best for that age bracket. continue where he left off. Many will disagree with number 4, but that's the exact same reason 99% of PulseChain influencers can't get over 10,000 followers. Ooh, Moon King. I only have like one, let alone 50,000. They don't understand marketing. Like and retweet, blah, blah, blah. I think that is an excellent, I agree with number 4. What do you think about number 4? Do you reckon outrage marketing? Do you think outrage marketing is the go?
Yeah, because, and it's weird because like even Coinbase kind of started out with a little bit of outrage marketing way back when it was new. If you're doing something new that hasn't, it's not that DeFi hasn't been done before. That's totally misnomer. But if your idea is self-custody, then you have to get people's attention in a way that isn't going to spoon feed them information, right? So, like let's say Apple products like an iPad, it's kind of easy to use or whatever. They make it easy for people. They make everything, Apple's kind of known for like having kind of an easy, okay, you scan your face, you don't have to do much. We'll take care of the hard stuff for you. All you got to do is draw on a little Apple Pencil and whatever. And that's fine. I'm not talking down to it. But DeFi is not that simple. So you want to advertise to people, but you want to advertise in a way that isn't, all you got to do is click this button and we're going to hold your hand, because the caveat is you could not know what you're doing. So come here. It's kind of edgy. If you don't want to, then don't, because it's DeFi. Like no one holds your wallet but you. So that's kind of why outrage marketing works for this subject, is it keeps people open-minded. And that's why I don't mind in DeFi if people cuss or they're edgy, but I would in other spots, because it's unnecessary and stupid. But you almost need to shock people into like, hey, fucker. You know what I mean? You need to like no one's censoring you. You need to have control over your wallet. And it's funny because, Richard used to cuss a lot and he stopped, and I get it because you have more mainstream people bringing money in, and I think it was fair. But as a general rule, I think it's okay for us to I mean, look the way I'm dressed. It's okay for us to kind of signal that it's a little bit not as corporate, because it's your...
That's the point.
Yeah.
People have tried traditional. They've tried traditional finance. Yeah. There's nothing there. They need something different.
That already exists. Bitcoin.
I mean, that stuff already exists, and it's not giving people the returns they need. And the age bracket, like Moon King said, they're males between 25 and 35. I think
that's younger than me too.
Yeah,
so,
way younger.
Way younger
than me. Like PulseChain is a little bit older crowd. Well, PulseChain would say 30s and 40s.
Probably a little bit.
And we've tried traditional finance. So I think stocks you're getting maybe on average, like with like a, I don't know, S&P 500 kind of approach, you'd get like 7% annually. Just for inflation, that's 2%. If you're lucky with real estate, on average every 10 years, you'll double your money. But that's on average in that 10 years. So you could be...
And real estate takes a lot of work.
There's a lot of hidden costs. So you'll say you doubled, but when you actually go through the actual cost, you probably just kept up with inflation, which is really sad. Having said that, I love it as a store of value, and to get basically you can leverage on it, and you can stack property, and you can get leverage loans and then go into other investments. So I actually really do love real estate for storing value, and so that you can basically get equity loans and then go and invest in something else. But crypto is unique in that we are extremely high risk investors, but we know this because we're educated
and very volatile. Yeah, you have to be
one of the most volatile investments. More than 95+% of people will get completely wrecked.
Is it one of the most, or is it the most? It has to be the most.
It has to be the most.
There's no way it's not. Right?
And then with crypto, you've got like a spectrum of risk. And the most likely thing that happens, and most people in their first cycle, you just completely lose all of your money. So you have to choose a product that you believe in and hold it for a long time. And you have to investigate to the point where you're safe online and you've got reasons that you do what you do. I'm going to show you.
And by the way, because of the win with the Richard Hart ecosystem, that kind of does technically on paper sort of make it safer than some other things legally, right? Because it was, it's gone through the ringer and it was.
Exactly.
Wow,
So, I mean, we still got the Interpol thing, and I hope Richard finds a way to sort that out. And I'm sure he's very resourceful. I'm sure he'll find a way. And it's been a blessing in a way because the prices have kept like this, so that I can continue my DCA. But not a blessing for him because he's in hiding and not in contact with anyone. So that's got to be super rough. So I hope that gets resolved soon, and I hope his lawyers are working on that, and I'm sure he is. But let's hear from Richo.
Everybody, Richard Hart here, and my $3,000 Valentino Rockstud purse, my $3,000 Prada jacket, $2,000 Prada shirt, $2,000 or $3,000 Prada pants, Prada glasses, Prada hat, Prada bracelet, and it's all Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off. Prada shirt, Prada hat, Prada glasses, Prada pants, and it's all nylon, so the haters' tears fall right off.
Lil Bubble, let me ride that rocket.
Oh, thanks, Richo. I've changed. I tried to get it so that we could dance to, but I couldn't quite choose the right button.
Prada.
And the haters' tears fall right up. This is from Bob Hawke. This is like some history right here, everyone.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up to die is a bum.
Wait, play that again. I have no idea what he just said.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up to die is a bum.
That's completely irrelevant too.
Wait, Claus, is that? I think I'm not understanding it.
Oh, it's too Aussie. Okay, let's do it one more time.
Because of the accent. All right.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up to die is a bum.
What the hell is he saying, Claus?
He said, I tell you what, any boss that sacks anyone today for not turning up is a total bum. I think
my God.
Oh God, I can't even remember like what day that was about. But Bob Hawke was a Chad. So he was a prime minister and he was a Chad, right, for Australia.
Oh yeah.
And what he used to do at the cricket is like the camera would go to him and he'd be holding his beer with his scarlet. Oh, because he was a Chad.
Oh my God, I love Aussies.
Anyway.
Jeez.
He went to he was a cool guy. So I'm gonna say hi to a couple of people in the chat. Yavine,
I haven't even looked.
Hello. Scotty. Oh, it does work, Scotty, but you just gotta tweak it.
Cool, man.
Hello.
Guys.
Not a goo god. Hello. Thank you for being here very much. People don't care about cool. They love the drama. A lot of people are here for entertainment. So outrage marketing is what people engage with. Exactly. People want to be entertained. I hope we're entertaining you. He's probably he's got some nice cars, so I don't know. It's gonna be that bad, really. Like on a scale of like homelessness, that'd be pretty luxurious, I can imagine. Didn't he have like a gym set up? He used to post. Now he doesn't. It is now. Okay, stop. Part excellence, looking after our baby. Thank you. I hope she's doing good. I call her Squishington, my little squishy.
Squishington.
Squishington, she's so chubby, it's so cute. Here we go. Donson, hi from Melbourne. Hello. Oh, it was after winning the America's Cup. In sailing. Oh, there's like totally, there's shows on Netflix about it. and yeah, it's epic because, you know, compared to the funding of other teams, and then yeah, anyway, truly epic. Technical RH is the greatest. Keyboards, blockchain, code, fabrics. He has the ability to make technicals fun and interesting. I want technical RH back. Oh, so this is a flavor that you want of Richard.
Sound systems, air conditionings. But yeah, the keyboards are pretty good too.
Interesting.
Top hat.
I've got a lot more to ramble through. I thought we would run out of stuff, but we've actually got like.
We're not going to run out of stuff. We're not going to run out of stuff, even if you had no stuff. We would make stuff. That's what kind of synergy.
I thought that I'd run out, but there's still
no way.
There's this. Let's see what Richo has to say here. Add to the stage. Add to the stage. I'll get the sound going.
No sound alert. No sound.
Oh, you don't have the sound. Oh, I have to like. Oh, okay. I gotta share the tab. Oh, you know when you're tired and you gotta share a tab instead of sharing a window.
You want it, you guys.
If you want this clip, you gotta share your tab. Okay. Oh God, guys, I'm doing this for you. I'm doing this clip. This better be extraordinary, Richard. No, I'm just kidding.
Doing this for freedom of speech on the blockchain. That's what she's doing.
I'm doing it for the. I'm doing it so that people can hear the audio on the post. We're still on the Moon King post, but I just wanted to show you this is cool. And then now I have to change the way I share. Present, share the tab. No, I'm sharing a window instead of a tab.
It hasn't made a sound until now.
Oh, are you not hearing that, are you?
No. You're not even playing it, Klaus. Click play.
Oh, I'm having a moment. Having a moment.
Technical difficulties.
Technical difficulty. I could give up on it, or I could persist.
Well, every crypto person has had technical difficulties before, so at least we're in the understanding crowd.
I can do it. I can do it. It is a tab.
All right.
It's a tab. Okay. It's either this one or this one.
Is.
It's this one. Product.
Do not.
God, that's probably loud on.
You want in? You can buy with everybody else. Nothing special. Influencers, you want in? You guys. You can miss this boat too. You can buy later. I'm happy if all this miss the boat. If every influencer misses a boat and every do not. Buy the top VCs, you want in? You can buy with everybody.
Ha! I love that.
That's awesome. I wonder how long ago he said that.
He said
it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. That's such a cool clip, and I love it.
But that's pretty applicable. I mean, when it's been so volatile, it's awesome. Knew even back then. Well, even Bitcoin for a long time.
Sharing the window. Add. So Rackham is gonna put up the cost for the Kraken listing. Like, thank you, Rackham. That's super generous, man. So he's reaching out to Kraken. He's got his mate Steve to do to help out with the organization of that. This guy here is pretty popular influencer, and he speaks nicely about PulseChain. So I want to shout him out. His name is Mason Versuit. I don't know. He's got a pretty Chad last name though. I think it looks like Greek or something. And he's got 242,000 followers, and he says nice stuff about us. So thank you for that. He's got a few videos which are kind of cool, and he wanted some engagement from the Hex crowd, and he got it. So, oh look, he's even backing us up. Like, he tries to root for us and stuff. He did this tweet, and he's like, oh, here it is. I bet the Hex community can get this post to 444 plus likes, and we got it to 1.4K with 211 retweets. Like, that's sick. So shout out to that bro. Everyone give him a follow. And see if there's anything else on here I wanted to mention. Shout out to that bro. We went through that. We went through the case.
Nuclear Herbs has been so good during everything. Oh my goodness.
Herbie has been like Chad. Absolute Chad. What
the herbs of my life.
Can we talk about the treasure hunt?
Yeah, we can. Go for it.
Oof. It's a big subject.
Now this will be 100% Hod Pro learning and Klaus teaching. So
I'll lay it out. in the west part of America, there is a treasure hunt. There is some kind of treasure vessel. We don't know if it's a box or what the thing is made of, the chest is made of. But long story short, it's got millions of dollars worth, at least $1 million worth of gold and artifacts in it and jewels, in addition to an additional prize of Bitcoin and other stuff to follow. And it's actually a physical treasure chest, because we don't know what it's made of. And it's hidden on the west part of America. And in order to find the treasure, there's a poem, and it's called Beyond the Map's Edge. And it's found at treasure.quest is the website. And the backstory you can find on Netflix. There's a series called Golden Greed, which outlines a historical treasure hunt by a guy called Forrest Fenn. Hope I got his name right. And it went for 10 years. And people in America, basically, it was in the Rocky Mountains, and they all went exploring. Some people did get hurt, and that's not cool. But a lot of people found that, a sense of adventure in it. And yeah, eventually that treasure got found. So there's a man that's continued the hunt. His name is Justin Posey, and he has some really deep sentimental reasons why he's continued the hunt, and I'll let you guys watch Netflix to find that out. And the clues are in the poem. He's also written a book. The clues are also in the book. So in order to find the treasure, you need to read the poem, which is obviously poetic. It's not going to give you like a set of coordinates. It's like, go here. And there's layers to it. So you might work like a geological angle where you're like, what lives in time? Is he talking about different time periods, like in a rock wall, for example, as an unconformity? Or so you might work it from like a geological perspective. You might work it from like an academic perspective, where you actually learn about history and like what could be an interesting story. Like, where would you hide it? That would be interesting. You can decipher. My daughter's awake and she can't open the door to the stream room, so hopefully she finds the way to. She has this like not coping thing where she just won't walk to like my husband, even though she knows where he is.
Man.
But anyway, so I might have to run and just drop her off and come back. But so you could work it from a geological perspective. You could work it from an academic perspective. You can do a decipher. So there's actually hidden code within the book or the poem or both.
You got like an Alan Turing in his mom's basement working on this stuff.
Yeah. It's like, I warn you, like it's once you get into it, it can be quite addictive, and it's addictive for different reasons, but it's like a perfect blend of art and science, and of course, like the narcissist, like within everyone would be like, oh look, I can find it and you can't. Like, I think that's what kind of
code.
Yeah, can you crack it? So that's what I've been spending. Oh look, it's us Abdul in chat. Hello. That's what I've been spending a lot of time on.
Your secrets.
Hey,
Yeah.
But even from like the poem, I'm going to show you guys this poem because it's you guys can help.
Oh man, one of us is going to find the treasure clause. He just.
Oh, I will give you guys some tools, and I'm going to give you some alpha because I'm in Australia, and what else can I do with myself? I can't just. I got children. I can't just fly over. I will if I'm certain, but there's a lot of uncertainty going on. I keep changing my location every day. So it's called Beyond the Map's Edge. Can you find what lives in time, flowing through each measured rhyme? Wisdom waits in shadowed sight for those who read the words just right. As hope surges clear and bright, walk near water's silent flight. Round the bend past the hole, I wait for you to cast your pole. In Ursa East, his realm awaits. His bride stands guard at ancient gates. Her foot of 3 at 20 degree, return her face to find the place. Double arcs on granite bold, where secrets of the past still hold. Beyond the reach of time's swift race, wonder guards this sacred place. Truth rests not in clever minds, not in tangled twisted finds. Like a river's steady flow, what you seek, you already know. So this website, treasure.quest, has the poem. It has announcements, so you can just make sure the treasure's not found before you start looking into it. There's rules, so hopefully people don't get hurt, don't go underwater, don't rappel, don't go into any abandoned mines. Safety stuff. Don't trash somebody's garden and
private property.
Don't go on private property. Legal stuff. There is one of the biggest pieces of alpha that I can give people is in here, and it says that basically all potential legal claims will be held in Wyoming. And this guy doesn't live in Wyoming. He lives in Texas. So why is all the legal claims got to do with Wyoming? So yeah, there's so many different angles, and with the poem, the two parts of the poem which to me are the most specific. I think he's used these a lot of words intentionally, right? So in Ursa, east is really interesting because Ursa means bear, east is east. So is he saying like bear east, like just go east? Or is it something, to me, it kind of hints at something astronomical. Like there's got to be a constellation of stars that he's talking about that's somehow going to point you in the right direction. And I haven't figured that bit out. The bride at ancient gates. So a lot of people are thinking like, is there a bridal veil fall? Is there a steep canyon that you're going to? What is a bride? Is it a monolith? Is it a monolithic structure with a girdle? Is it a more of a spiritual presence? What constitutes a bride? Is it a Native American woman? Is it a statue? So that to me, that's quite interesting. The other part that's quite specific and difficult to unravel is the double arcs on granite bold. So there's not that much granite in West America, so that actually kind of helps.
It's just at a McDonald's in the middle of Wyoming.
Oh my God, on Facebook.
I get the Happy Meal and then you give them the cipher. They're like, here you go, here's your treasure chest.
On Facebook, I haven't joined the community because I'm already in cult. Like, I need two. Like, maybe I do. Maybe I'm that crazy. I need two cults going on. But the treasure hunt community, I've just been like scrolling because I've started to get a bit desperate because my location started changing, and I'm clearly not in the right place if my location constantly changes. And so I thought I'll just get, and I've been working on this cipher, and I'm like, I just need a few tips. So I went on the Facebook. And these people are the funniest chads that you'll ever come across. Like they did the McDonald's joke that you just said.
You did? Okay, I'm not the only one.
No, not me, but somebody did. And then someone did this joke where they had this monolithic phallus looking. Anyway, they're so funny, and they're actually like really funny.
I picked up a ham radio part the other day, and everyone in that store is just super chatty. All these guys, and it's like, of course they are. They're ham radio people. I mean, the personality selects for that, right? So with these treasure hunt people, what personality selects for that? Like, I'm obsessed with solving things.
There's the people that fixate, and I've done a lot of work, especially like when I'm at my work too. So from a cognitive bias point of view, and the last guy that found the treasure did a whole stream on just on cognitive bias. He was a medical student that found the treasure, and the way
another medical student.
Yeah,
you're not a student, but
not a student anymore. But I was, so I can channel it. But what I would say in terms of the mentality of people that may find the treasure, it would be the people that fixate. But there's a
like House, like an episode of House where he's like,
Yeah, it's fixation, but it's I call it like a mental locking and unlocking. So you fixate enough to go down the rabbit hole, but then you have in real time that you're going down that rabbit hole, and you allow variables to come in and out, and then you assess the situation and you go, you know what, it's not down this rabbit hole, and then you can quickly like change to the next rabbit hole. Whereas what some people will do when they fixate is they'll stick on that same rabbit hole, and every new bit of information that comes to light, they'll fit it into that rabbit hole. But if you can do a lock and an unlock mechanism, like with your brain, and go, and it helps when there's like a person that's not you, to once you speak out loud and say, I think it's here because of X, Y, Z. And then that person can then give you feedback and go, why would he put it there? Like, that's not a bride. Like, that's not in keeping with the poem, or that doesn't make sense. Like, and when you do ciphers, like with AI, the AI will give you a different answer every single time, and it will base its response on what you've asked it previously. And it will come to a premature conclusion all the time. Okay, now I'm going to get you to, do you want me to, map out the location that you're going to and give you a guide? And it's like, no, I haven't.
Well, it randomizes the seed, right? So it kind of like will give you a different
answer. Each time that you ask AI, it gives you like a slightly different answer. So I'll tell you how I'm doing my shift ciphers. and then you can play with this HUD rule because you're better than this than me. So what I do is with the poem, I take the first letter of each line, and that forms like a sequence of letters, right? And so then I take the second letter of each line, and that forms a sequence of letters, dot, 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 all the way up to, say, 30. Okay. So then you've got strings of letters. So then you need to perform the shift cipher, and you can do whatever you want with the shift cipher. But he did this code on the Netflix series with a series of numbers that I'm using as my shift. So he unlocked in real time on Netflix a safe, and using the numbers 44, 26, 1, and 11. So the numbers are 44, 26, 1, and 11. So the most success I've had is using a reduced shift cipher, where you just ask AI, do a reduced shift cipher on this. And the shift cipher works out to be 18, 0, 1, 11. I don't know how the hell it reduces it to that number, but it just does. So you do a reduced shift cipher and then use an anagram solver to go from there. But you have to check the work of the AI as it goes, because it always fucks up. And then it comes out with some weird shit depending on what you've asked it before. So ideally when you go in, like, don't give it any information before you go in, just give it like raw, see what comes out. The other cipher is in the book. So each page of the book, or within the chapters, a word that shouldn't be a capital.
So the person hiding this treasure is still alive?
Yes.
Okay, and did that person write this book?
Yes.
Okay, and then the Netflix, is that like by the person who hid it, or is that just people looking for it, or both?
Both. And the person
Okay,
that hid it originally was like an older gentleman. Unfortunately, he passed away. And then it goes through like the backstory of all these people that were trying to find it. And then the person that's now hiding the treasure has some very sentimental reasons, like linked to what happened during that previous hunt, as to why he wants to continue the hunt. Yeah. So the other ciphers in the book, and there's words that are capitalized in the online version of the book that shouldn't be. And if
one has found, how many years have they been looking for this?
This has only been out like at the end of March.
Oh, it's relatively new.
Yeah, it is.
Oh.
Yeah.
So one more question. If someone were to find this treasure, my guess is he would tell everybody else, right? Like, it's not just okay.
Yeah, you have to, because if you don't, like, number one, you have to make it legal. And especially if you were international, like, you have to claim the treasure, like legally claim it. And
right. Well, I'll let you go, but yeah.
Oh, no, you go.
Oh, well, like, okay, you get a treasure chest full of gold. Like, what are the legal implications? What can you do? Like, it's my gold. Like, well, I don't know. It's historical gold. You know, the government could just be like,
so
you know what? It's not your gold.
This guy's got a lot of resources, so he's organized the third-party legal implications. So when you find the treasure, there's like instructions on how to contact his lawyer, and then you register the claim. And after that, there's further gifts that come from the lawyer, including Bitcoin. And future gifts. But yeah, you have to, there's like a 30-day window where you have to officially register it. And if you are,
as long as you're not giving any money to this guy, you know what I mean? Because there have been reverse scams of people saying, "Oh, there's some," you know, but I don't think that's necessarily.
No, not for this one. I think this guy's pretty
Netflix
loaded.
And everything. Yeah, okay.
And then, then you have to deal with your own legal system from whatever country you come from, and your own tax system.
Right. But I mean, if it's the U.S., then he's probably done research on like how that would work out here. But then again, if you're not here, then
and the hunt becomes void if you've done anything illegal. So if there was legal proceedings and then you were found at fault, for example, you can't just go to a historical site and trash it. Like, that's not cool. Like, you're going to have your hunt voided completely. And yeah, I think people are going about it in like a pretty respectful way. I would hope. There's it's super challenging, I would say that, because there's a lot of moving parts. And in terms of being objective on, you know, I'm gonna stay on this location because I've got objective reasons. you really can never be 100% sure. So that number combination that I gave you, there's a lot of numbers inside the safe on the series. So what happens is, in terms of objective numbers, one of the things he does when he's getting interviewed is he has a giant clock behind him and he changes the time on the clock. So some people are
kind of
saying,
like Richard Hart.
yeah. So they're saying like, oh, look, is that like compass bearings? Or is it alluding to a longitude or a latitude? So that's one numbers. The second numbers comes when he opens the safe with the numbers I gave you.
Or he doesn't want his location cracked, but
yeah. And then the third time he opens the safe, he uses the number 52, could be 53. And then he opens the safe when he's showing off all of his gold and jewels and stuff. And he's got stickers on some of the items with a series of numbers as well. So there's a whole, like, people can go and watch Gold and Greed and just pause when it gets to the stickers.
I get the thrill that you would get from throwing one of these hunts. I understand. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got, this money and I'm going to make a hunt for it. It's
family
that's
all good. You can go next time. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on?
I invited her late. Yeah. Thank you. She'll come next time. Sounds like a physics problem. Yeah. It's super like mentally challenging for so many reasons.
It's just the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, pretty much. So like you can work it from different like storytelling points of views. Like you're gonna work it from like a mining perspective, an outlaw perspective. You're gonna work it from there's lots of different angles. So I kind of like this kind of stuff. Like just I don't know, find it quite mentally engaging. There has been
you are smart, Claus. There has to be a
but the problem I'm coming up with so far is that objectively it's completely almost impossible to lock a location because there are conflicting, what you would say would be an objective piece of evidence. There's multiple pieces of evidence that are objective that are conflicting that would change your location.
Yeah.
So
you almost kind of have to be there.
Yeah. It's you gotta like vibe it, but in like a very intellectual way. I think there's a lot of academics that I think people that don't read on the history of their area don't know any of the folklore. They don't know the geology. I don't think they're just going to magically find it if they don't work the ciphers. I think you've got to work it from all the angles.
It's kind of like all the Q-tards. If they haven't read the Gnostic texts, they're just completely in the dark. Like, now you got to read some of the Sethian.
Yeah. So I've probably got maybe up to 10 locations where I could go, look, this would be a good location because of X, Y, Z, but I'm just not feeling it here. Or I'll get a coordinate and I'll put it on a map and I'll be like, really? And you'll look around on like Google Maps and go, it's not going to put it there. It just doesn't look like somewhere.
You kind of use your intuition a little bit. You're pretty good at that.
Yeah. So
wow, Claus, that's funny. That's cool. I mean, it's definitely interesting.
It is. It's
better than watching Real Housewives.
At some point, I'm kind of like, do I pursue it or do I drop it? Because I've been on it for about 3 weeks, and it's like it's entirely addictive because it's so engaging when you try to like work ciphers or break codes or like try and think objectively like what constitutes a bride or what constitutes an arc or Anyway, that's what I've been up to.
That's awesome, Claus. That's hilarious.
It's next level. It's next level, like addictive. Hey. Anyway, I'm thinking about giving it up because I'm like, I think
you're thinking about it, and then you're gonna go to sleep, and then you're gonna wake up. Oh, wait a minute.
I think what it comes down to is you have to have like some balls to think that you can do it and no one else can, and that's what's going to keep you going for however long. Like if you actually think that you could find it. There's a guy that I saw on Facebook and he had a combination of different elements that he'd put together for his location. And it was next level. Like it was, and it made me realize like, oh my God, the bar is higher than I thought because for me, like I can't crack the whole astronomical thing. Like, oh, this is the Big Dipper and they've got these 3 belts and these 2 feet and this means that. And I just can't get my head around. I can't navigate. Like I've got something in my brain. Like I get lost like all the time. Like
oh, you do too? Oh man.
I can't navigate. So I feel like this guy that I saw on Facebook was like this Chad navigator, and I'm like, oh
I've been
my God.
given so many compasses in my life because I can't find my car. So many, it's real bad. Or like the girls' bathroom. I've been there, like, or class. Like I never. Yeah, it's real bad. It runs in my family.
Man.
It's
It
some
might
apartments.
it might be my downfall. Like I can't navigate. It probably won't stop me though. Anyway, back to crypto. So
That's awesome.
in summary, like SEC case gone, 300 million SAC funds there. If it gets deployed, then we all get potentially super wealthy. Hopefully one day. Anything else you want to talk about, Hodprol?
Oh man, just it's good to be back on the stream. I've kind of like, taken a break. I do tend to kind of take the breaks during the bear or anything.
You have to.
Little repeat eye thing. And I'm like, and then the SEC one, not one. Richard won against the SEC.
Yeah.
And
what a Chad move. Absolute Chad. 350k followers.
And then here we go.
Absolute Chad. People don't realize what a Chad Richard is. He can dance too. And yeah.
Ego trap, yeah.
I've met Ollie in real life and she is a really lovely lady.
Oh,
and we
cool.
had some cocktails together and we had a good old chat and I felt like I'd known her forever. And she's a wonderful lady.
Awesome.
Yeah. So she came to the
That's
Aussie
wonderful.
meetup. And there was a lady called, there's a few different ladies that I don't see online, but were there at the meetup that were just my kind of people. They were really cool. All right, Hodprol. So final sort of thoughts, words, and then we'll wrap this up.
Yeah, sure. Final thoughts. It's just exciting for the Richard Hart community that he won. That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know what news would be better. I mean, yeah, we're kind of pumping a little bit. The prices are going up, but now we know that, that we're not going to be attacked from this 3-letter agency, right? So it's like, okay, then things can start happening on PulseX, right? So I'm pretty pumped about it.
Absolutely.
That's my thoughts.
All my numbers on GoPulse have completely changed. My computer's bugging out.
No.
Yeah.
Unless something happened to his crypto.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, I want to say thank you to the chat for being here. So we had Bitfinesse here. Let's see what his final thoughts were. Most people probably fall victim to the ego chat, and if they feel it's too hard to nail, so they don't even try. That means that we should try more because participation is likely low for ciphers. Exactly, Bitfinesse. Like I've been working this cipher from 50 million angles, and yes, it tells you something different each time, but there is a common thread. Unfortunately, the words that are used in the common thread are too non-specific, but I think it depends on what locations you've fed that particular chat beforehand. It will style it to that chat. So once you I think the cipher will be useful once you've got a couple of locations that you think you've nailed, and then you do the cipher, and it can probably be more particular for you within those locations.
Man,
yeah,
I can see how this could be addicting, Claus. That's fun.
Oh, it's so addictive.
Jeez.
Imagine if people that felt that way about RH tickets. We do feel that way about them. Don't stop, can't stop. Exactly. Thanks everyone for being here. Shout out to Richard Hart. Prices are moving. So it's going to happen for us. I think we're still in the lull, but we'll get there. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good day, evening, wherever you are. Thanks for being here. Bye.